Bandidos. We are live. It's Thursday, August 3rd, and we're going to be using just the tips because we're going to attack this polarity switch. Let's get into it.
Ready? Okay. Shh.
Bandidos, what up? Thank you for joining me as we're going to get into some trouble here in the Division 2. Once again. Hey, real quick, before we get started on the mission of the day, really, I want you to know that I pinned the latest video in the chat. It's at the top of the chat. It's called Be Cowboy Strong. It's using the strongest rifle in the game to eliminate everything, and it's featuring the Dodge City holster. So it's one that we streamed, I don't know, last week sometime, and I finalized the build out of it. So it's not the same build we used in the stream. I ended up taking it a little bit further, made some decisions around it. So it's really cool. But more importantly, I need your guys' feedback because I'm always trying to evolve the channel. So I took the video in a stylized direction. I kind of lifted it a little bit more by combining a couple of different concepts that I've done in the past into one video. And so it's really, really important for me, not just for the comments, for traction and stuff like that, but I really love to hear you guys' feedback about length and the energy and the style when it comes to kind of like the storyline and creativity on top of just throwing out a build video, right? So, because I could just throw out a build video and be like, hey, here's a build, good luck, have fun. But, you know, I like to, again, deliver on three pillars, and one of those being high quality, and the other one being informative, and then the other one being entertainment. So I like to deliver all three of those things in everything I do, basically. And so anyways, love your feedback on YouTube. You did that video, you're gonna comment in the video itself. Also got the poll going, so appreciate that, everybody. Okay, so what are we getting into today? Polarity switch. So yeah, if you jump into your season menu here, you'll see you have polarity switch. I haven't turned it on yet. I haven't been playing all week. I've been editing. Anyways, so it's worth doing events though if you can, right? And so at the very least, it's cool if you could do the events to at least take advantage of the mini rewards track. You can usually do this in about a day, depending on your build and depending on the event, if it allows you to put on a bunch of directives so that you can get there fast, right? But if not, then maybe it's 2 days or whatever. But you have a full week to take advantage of the event. And so you can get these. You also get red stars. And why is that important? So every time you level up, you get a red star just simply by having the event on. And of course, gaining XP to get more shade, which is going to get you more red stars that you can use to purchase these caches here at the season vendor. That's only open while the event is turned on. I mean, while the event is active, which is a week, right? So you have to spend all your red stars or you lose them, but you got some good stuff here. Named item caches, legacy season caches, and exotic caches especially. So those are the three things that I usually look for. Now at my stage of the game, I typically have everything. I'm still looking for some unicorn pieces in the named area, but so that's usually what I'm going for, is named items. Otherwise, it's exotic components for me. And then, so that's what we're about. Now, polarity switch, let's take a quick look at it. We got some mixed feelings about it, of course, but it's actually, you know, it's definitely not many people's favorite event, but it's not the worst event, I gotta say. Okay, it's not my favorite, but it's not the worst. Let's take a look at it. So whatever about some weird freak electrical storm, but basically you got these color things, okay, right? So your arm changes color and you got blue and gold. And so the idea is that you can basically only do damage to the enemies that match your color. And so if you're shooting at a blue guy, you have seriously diminished damage against him. And then you have increased damage against the right colored folks. So yeah, it's basically a racist game mode. Just kidding. So the annoying part isn't that. The annoying part is how easy it is to change your color. So every time you reload, you change your color. Every time you swap weapons, you change your color, and then you can force a change on the enemy by meleeing him. Which can be a pain in the butt, especially if they're invulnerable. But sometimes if you need to, you got it. So it's annoying when you go up and melee an enemy and then accidentally reload, and now you got your opposite colors again, right? You see where I'm going? So, you know, if you can find builds that bypass the whole event, then it becomes easier. So there's a detail here that we want to look at. So polarity will affect all of the agent's firearms, including specialization weapons, okay? However, skills and grenades are not affected. Skills are not affected. So if you want to take advantage of this event, then a skill build or some sort of hybrid, you can bypass the whole thing, but you still have your primary weapon, right? This is a shooter. This is a shooter. Nobody wants to rely on just your skills to do all the work for them as you eat your sandwich and watch it automate the control point. No, we want to use our guns, right? So for me, when it comes to polarity switch, there's a couple of things. One is, and I think I saw somebody mention it in chat, is that you can use it like the pestilence actually bypasses most of the events. Now, the bullet impact won't be that exciting, but the plague itself will, I believe, goes underneath the shields. So that's one way to get around it, right? But it can be, you know, you still got to get out of cover and your bullets aren't making that big of an impact, but on some of them they are. It depends on, you know, what color you're shooting at. So, but that's a good way to go. And we might even try that one a little bit later. The other way to go is, and I think Scrub Nation up there is indicating it, and this is the direction we're going to go, is to have so much power you can buy, it doesn't matter. You don't have to discriminate what color you're shooting at. You can have so much power, you can kill anybody, regardless of what color they are. It's almost like the event's not even there. And that's great. And that's a great way to play any of the events, right? Is that you can, to bypass the event and still get your red stars as if you're not basically nerfed, because that's what the event is really doing, is nerfing you, you know? And there is some power-up stuff we'll talk about too. So that's why we're gonna be featuring a tip of spear build, and I'm gonna build it up from scratch. Okay, so let's first turn on this event. So I'm gonna build it up from scratch. So I've been running this build for I think 2 seasons now, at least 1 full season, and I'm constantly evolving this build. It's that good. And you know what's crazy is I haven't created a build video for this yet. I keep like setting it aside, and it's a really good video, and build, and it needs to be featured because it's amazing. It's an amazing build. It like crushes everything, legendary and heroic. And so first, it's about sharpshooter. Okay, so tip of spear gives you a stronger specialization weapon and generates ammo. So let's activate this real quick. And so the big deal is that, you know, most specialization weapons aren't really that user friendly. But the TAC 50 is. The TAC 50 is the best specialization weapon because it can one-shot kill, where like grenades and all that other stuff, they require lots of ammo. And tip of spear can't typically keep up with that. And even the arrows, right? If you use the crossbow, it can't one-shot kill. I mean, some enemies, I think, possibly. I don't use it a lot, but you miss a lot with that one. And so, but the really cool thing about sharpshooter is how you can also generate ammo. Killing enemies with headshots adds 1 to your group ammo bar, except for signature weapons. Let me see, it's this one. Killing enemies with headshots adds 2 to the ammo bar. So basically, you're building up extra TAC 50 ammo with your primary weapon as long as you're getting headshots. So kills. And then the tip of spear is generating that ammo too. So it's pretty difficult to run out of ammo. You know, it's pretty difficult. Still possible, but difficult. And so that's what we're going to be playing into, and we're going to try to one-shot kill everything regardless of the color. At the same time, we're going to be running a skill build, a strong skill build, 6 skill tiers. All right, so that's the mission. So we got that active, we got the right weapons, and then let's now assemble the build. Sorry, I'm gonna have to run my AC in the background, guys. I know it's gonna have a little background noise there, but it's really hot today, so hope it doesn't bother you too much. Okay. let's get this together. Stash space issues aside. And so tip of spear. So signature weapon damage, 2 pieces gives you 10%. 3 pieces give you 10% weapon damage, a little helpful. And then aggressive recon. So dealing damage with a signature weapon increases total weapon damage by 20% for 60 seconds. That's nice. It's basically almost vigilance. Automatically generates signature weapon ammo every 60 seconds. So basically you want to use your specialization weapon once every 60 seconds. But the reality is that we're going to be running Headhunter. God, these guys, they always do that. And so that usually bypasses the need to do that. So the only time you need to whip out your specialization weapon is when maybe you miss a shot or you lose to Headhunter for any reason. So let's find the one that we want. I think I got a chain killer with skill damage, and so it's a new chest piece that I've been sitting on. That's a pretty good one right there too. But I want the equation that I'm going to be using today is skill tier, headshot damage, and skill damage. Okay, so we're gonna peek this bad boy out. The link video, Biko, is the one that's pinned in the chat. Sorry if that was confusing. I kind of talked about it in the beginning. Yeah, so I'm talking about the video that's pinned in the chat. So you've probably already seen it. But I'm looking for feedback because I'm constantly trying to evolve the channel, and I just want to see if this is the direction that you guys like, that kind of stuff. Let's see here. I'm looking for this one chest piece. I know maybe it's on my main character. It's a walker. I don't think it might not be the perfect one. That one. Yeah, it's not perfect Headhunter, but I'm okay with that. It's got skill damage, headshot damage already on it. So let's equip that. And Habsburg would also work here. I'd actually prefer Habsburg, but this is cool. Now this is what's interesting. Okay, so really you want to power up your TAC 50. Okay, so that's really what we're after. So that's also a decent one, but I want that skill damage. And the thing about it is that the TAC 50, although it's a sniper rifle, it's a specialization weapon, and that precedes that. So running things like marksman rifle damage doesn't help your TAC 50. Weapon damage and headshot damage does. So we don't really want to run anything like 2 pieces of Habsburg or Araldi. We want to avoid those pieces because we want the strongest TAC 50 we can get. That way when we switch weapons to our primary, we can transfer that damage over, the highest damage coming from that TAC 50. And then as far as your primary weapon, we just need 150% headshot damage, which is easy to do. And then we're gonna pull in that tip of spear, and then I don't think I've run this version yet, so which is all the skill damage there. You see that skill damage pieces? I've been farming these pieces, not very hard, but I'm looking to have skill damage everywhere. I guess I don't have the gloves yet, which is weird because I swear I found those. Fine. And then there is the tip of spear backpack, and I kind of want to try that. It doubles ammo. And more damage to your primary. So all very interesting. We'll bring both those with us. And then I think that's all the pieces. Okay, let's assemble, shall we? All right. We got tip of spear. Mister, what up, mister? Mister. All right, so there's that one. So I think the piece that I'm missing, I've thought about putting the ninja bike backpack on this too. Like you could put the ninja. By doing that, you could pull in that damage to armor, which is nice, but we could also pull in the weapon handling from hot shots. It's kind of nice. We could try that one a little bit later, but first let's possibly run this piece. And then tip of spear. Now, I normally run the memento on this, but we could try this starting with the tips backpack and see what we think about it. So that opens up a couple of pieces. So I'm running an extra piece here just because I'm undecided, but like we could run the waveform. We could also run 2 pieces of Brazos. That's kind of interesting, actually. That's actually kind of more interesting than that Walker piece. So kind of like that, because it's a skill tier. I'd rather have a red. You know what I mean? Weapon damage. But then I could run the Picaros down here, which is nice. And then we'd probably want skill damage on it. Yeah, like that one. There we go. And so that would allow me to add armor or weapon damage. So we're at 4 skill tiers right there. And then one of these just needs to change. So probably the backpack. Right on, Action. Good to see you back. Enjoy your vacay. All right. So I'm not sure which weapons we're going to run here yet. And then for skills, we're going to want the attack turret. And I think I'm going to actually use the decoy on the other side here. We could also put a fixer. We're still down a skill tier, so I need to add one more here, it looks like. Fix that. So I wish I had that glove with skill damage. This guy headshot damage is kind of lame. All right. So now we're at our full skill tiers. Determine is one way to run. I think what I'm gonna do actually is change over to can't remember if this works with the M1A. Probably doesn't. We might need more damage. But I want to try the hunting is a nice one. The White Death is also a good alternate. Let me see. And then you can go future. If we go future, okay, if we don't want to run determined, if we go future, then we can take off some of the skill tiers. But the thing is, I don't think we need more damage. So we're gonna have to test that theory. So if we change the scope here, this rifle handle is really nice. That's why I like it. And then we're gonna mostly be playing from cover with this one. So I'll go ahead and add some stability there. Reload speed isn't bad either. Well, we're pretty good on stability, aren't we? Is that reload speed? Yeah. Cool. So we could also run overcharge on the backup, you know, so we could switch over every now and again and then use the White Death just to get that overcharge and then go back. So that's a good way to run it too. Also the Mantis, if you want to play into the unlimited skill tier, decoy, it's another way to go. And otherwise I think we got everything. Yeah, so let's add some headshot damage to get going, and then we'll see if we need to stick with those mods. Like that. And like that. So obviously the memento would be a big advantage because it's going to give you the skill tier armor and a red core plus the weapon damage and skill damage. Skill damage would be a big deal here, right? 30% more off of that. It's just that, you know, if we are hitting enough to kill enemies with a single shot, and depending on how you play, these are your metrics, right? So looking at the elite categories, that's the most important one for heroic content, really. And so you really want to try to take out those guys with a single shot, which is going to be about 9.8 million there, kind of middle of the row. And then if you're going to scale up, then you need to find 27% more damage for 2-man, 3-man, goes to 48%, so it basically doubles. And then the biggest jump is to that 4-man at 70% more damage than required for solo. So that's what you need to do to scale up. Now, the thing about this build, which is interesting, is that you can play into it in different ways. One of the ways is that your skills are going to be, I mean, especially if you throw out the turret too. Now, I'm using the decoy because it pulls them out of cover, right? And it's also good if you got an escape thing. But you could also use the attack drone, which also pulls aggro from you. So whatever skill you choose, whether it's attack drone or decoy, and the turret, all pull aggro away from you. So they're very, very beneficial. And if you run the memento, you can get bonus armor. You can even start playing out of cover with that because you're basically invisible to the enemy many times. So, you know, that's the memento would help there. And you could also do the waveform too if you wanted to stick to cover. So that's good too. And the waveform, you'd want to run the attack drone. But my point is, you got one-shot kill capability. As long as you're maintaining that, your skills can soften them up, and then you can use your weapon to one-shot kill if you don't have enough power for some reason. But we should. And we're going to test to see if we can put on some protection from elites, or we could also put on skill haste and duration if we wanted to. I don't like too much duration because I kind of move a lot, and so I don't want my skills... I want them to come with me. So I normally prefer haste over duration for the most part. Sheriff, what's going on, Sheriff? Good to see you. Negotiators with Unbreakable, right on. Is Unbreakable working for you or was it bugged? Curious. Okay, so let's put this on an elite. And then let's just go ahead and put it in short damage. And so what we're looking for here is, can we kill this guy right out of the gate? All right, and... So no, we're too short. So we need to increase that, right? So that was and you don't want to crit. So, but, oh wait, I forgot. I'm sorry, there's a mechanic here. Sorry, I forgot about that. I'll explain this in a second. Now let's try. Yeah, we can. Okay, cool. So now, as you can see, we can kill everybody. So I forgot about that. So tip of spear, I always forget about this detail. Okay, let me explain aggressive recon because there's a detail that you need to know of, okay? So aggressive recon, the talent we're talking about here, the 4-piece talent, isn't there until you use your signature weapon at least once on an enemy, okay? So when you're starting the battle, it's most likely going to be 2 shots. Now you can force it into be a 1-shot kill by aiming for a non-elite or veteran or normal, right? Or have enough red cores where you can take out that elite in a single shot. Otherwise, aggressive recon isn't there, right? That little green icon. So what? See the timer? So on the bottom. So it's gonna expire. It's only there for 60 seconds. And once you have it, once you activate, you don't need to worry about it anymore. Once you get your first kill, because then Headhunter takes over. So let me just demonstrate that. Okay, so it's gone, right? So this is not gonna be a headshot kill. We just activated, right? So now let's reset. So I'm just gonna kill him with the body shot. Okay, going back to the TAC 50. And now we'll kill.
You can't be any geek off the street.
That?
Gotta be handy.
And now from there, we're active. So now all we need to do is switch to our primary, and we should be chain killing everything. You see that? Non-crit, chain kill. And then you can body shot too. It's about 14 million. So we got overkill. 12 million almost. Non-crit. 11.2 or something like that. So, okay, so that's how it works. And then from this point forward, you could just have fun. All right, easy peasy. So good. So we got enough power. Now the question is, you know, do we like this configuration, right? Is Brazos doing anything for us, right? Where would we be better off with the Memento? So all these questions we need to have answers for. And first, let's just go and have fun with it. Sorry, I'm waiting for my...
You can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean.
updates to go through there on the notifications. All right. Let's get this going. We need to change our other weapon to I guess future perfect, right? You could also do preservation if you want armor on kill. So that's the other thing that the memento would bring is heals. So if you notice, we don't have any heals. So I'm gonna put future on this one though. Dial it back one notch, like in the beginning. All right, let's see. Map wise, Golan, I guess. Not the best map, but that's cool. Joshua Ames, appreciate you upgrading. Love that red skull you have too, man. Thanks for the continued support. Appreciate that. So this is what I predict is gonna happen, okay? So one of the things is that we're gonna have probably too much TAC 50 ammo and we're not gonna be using our TAC 50 enough. And so if we ran something that gives us bonus armor or armor regen or armor on kill instead, we might be better off. You know, so you could run like the 511, you could run 2 pieces of Bellstone, you could run just the Memento, and its armor regen would also be enough. And so I predict that, my prediction is that this backpack is gonna be nice, but we don't really need it because we're not gonna use our TAC 50 that much. Because it's slower. It's a great weapon, and I love the TAC 50, but running Determined is gonna be faster. And then we'd want to use whatever talent we have on our weapon, even if it's not determined. So even if we were using, oh, what's it called? Future, right? Or skilled or something like that, then we'd want to be taking advantage of our preservation. Okay, so for the first kill, you want it to be a matching color. That's how it's going to work with Polarity Switch. If you don't have the event, you don't need to worry about that. So we're looking for a matching color, and I'm a blue arm, and all our matches are. See if I can rotate this out. So that's gold, that's blue, and then switch over gold. Cool, because then I can pick on this purple guy and take him out with one shot. Otherwise, you have to wait for your activation, which is fine. 13.4, 10.4. You see that? So he was the opposite color. We still executed him. So, and that's the objective. That pink box means you're getting stronger with every kill. If you don't know what that means. If you haven't used the hunting 44, it's a great weapon. That's the primary I've chosen today. It's very heavy in a good way. It feels good in your hands. And it's like the White Death. The difference is it's a little bit less damage, not by much, but it's a little bit less, but you get an extra mod, which gives you better handling.
Reinforcements in place.
There's a boss. Ooh, almost killed her. And so one of the advantages is that you can use your skills to take out enemies that would waste your determined talent. Like now that I know, like on like a heavy boss, for example, you can use your skills to take off some of their armor before you shoot them, so that you can maintain your headhunter after that kill. Lots of survivability. We really didn't take any damage. And that's because our skills, right? The enemies don't even see us. Okay, so now we need to use our attack. So we need to find a nice chunky blue enemy for us. Remember that first shot is an activation. Now we got it. All right. As you can see, we got plenty of ammo. We got 5 rounds remaining.
I can't see him.
$20 million almost. So it's basically it weakens you by about 50% when you're hitting the opposite color. So that's pretty amazing that we got enough damage to. See, the right color is 21 million. Here's the opposite color. Let's see what we hit him at. 10 million. Crazy, right? But it's enough. 10.5. Okay, here's the boss. So now we need to pull out our attack 50 to activate. Now, bosses take diminished damage on your specialization weapon, something you need to be aware of. So we're active. Now is a kill shot. Almost. He's a squirmy guy, huh? Yeah, no scoping with the White Death mat is tons of fun. What up, Skeletor? Good to see you, bro.
Supply room access.
So, works like a dream. Let me see here. We're basically right at the damage that we need on the opposite color, right? So what I mean is, like, because of the game mode, when we hit the wrong color, it cuts our damage in half, which is at 10.5 million. And so we don't really want to take off any more damage. We got a little bit to spare, but if I can get that in skill damage, I would do that. But we're cool. So the only downside is if you get into a pickle, then, you know, I guess you don't have any regen or armor and kill. So, you know, I don't know if that's, we didn't really need it there, but, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Even if you don't need heals, it would still be an advantage to get a stronger skill from the memento. That's basically what I'm talking about. Ooh, nice 511. That's perfect. That's the backpack we're looking for, bros. Yes. Yes, finally. Okay, so all I need is a chest piece and the mask. So I'm looking for a 6-piece 511 build for you guys. You're like, what? Yep, it's a real build. It's just for demonstration purposes. But I needed this so I can turn the core red. So it's got everything we need. It's just gonna be a standard build, you know, 6 pieces vigilance with crits. But I needed an all red. Finally got that. And farming backpacks and chests, you know how difficult that is, right? When you're looking for something specific, it like gives you everything but what you're looking for. So that's fantastic. I'm happy about that. Every now and again, it pays out. Ooh, look at that one. Headshot damage, skill damage with vigilance. That's also good. But status effects, we probably don't really need that. So that's sad. Looks good everywhere though. It's perfect, even for the setup we're running. Status effects is tough. Basically, for one-shot kill builds, because they're not alive long enough to really take advantage of status. The only time it really works is when you're running and gunning with a riot foam and like a pistol or a rifle. It works like that too. No wild, yeah. We're not using these skills and headshot damage combo. Basically, when it comes to the turrets, nothing really buffs it but skill damage, you know? Okay, so let's change it up, actually. Let's favorite that. So let's use the memento, or should we start with the ninja bike first? Let's go memento because that's pretty straightforward. Now, the good thing with the memento is like once you get your trophies, we could actually start adding protection from elites. But for now, I'll just put on headshot damage. All right, and then because we've just picked up an extra skill tier, red core and whatever, I mean, I think we can break this, right? Let me just put on this and see. No, we can't. Okay, so however, we don't have to run the Picaros, but I like it. Let's go back to that walker with skill damage and headhunter. So let's go do that one. Yeah, that's the one that I want. I think that's the perfect chest for this build. Brer Lappin, appreciate you. Thanks for that upgrade. Continued support is awesome, man. Thanks for that gold skull, too. Yeah, that's what, Micah. You've probably seen this one. I'm just making versions of it. Remember the tip of spear one? I've been running it for 2 seasons. I usually break it out during events like this. This event, Golden Bullet and Reanimated, I usually break out the tip of spear build. And so, but for Polarity Switch, I'm showing people, which you probably already know because you're a longtime player, I'm sure, is how to bypass the event. Using, you know, by overpowering it, and also the event doesn't nerf your skills. So yeah, that's what we're working on. So I'm just gonna change this talent here to more a skill tier. Cool. Now we should be stronger. We should be stronger. We picked up a red core. We're gonna get the 30% weapon damage, but we gotta wait till we get our stacks. And then we got the regen, but we're gonna get 30% skill efficiency, so that's stronger. A little bit weaker on this, on that first kill, but once we get our trophies, we'll be making up for that. So, oh, that's right, we need to put on our tip of spear holster. So let me put this, right? We need a skill tier there, yeah. Well, I almost left here without doing that. We would have gone out there and be like, something's wrong with the build. No, we're not going to get anything on the specialization rework until we get closer to season 4. Don't expect to hear anything. Like, we're not going to be talking about a lot of season 4 stuff here. It's all speculation until we get there. And nobody knows. I try not to jump into the rumor mill too much, you know what I mean? Unless I'm really excited about it. Okay, so that's, I think that's good. Isn't that cool skin on this? Koi Pond. Let me open up a couple of these. That's right, Scarproof. You got the inside joke on that. Everybody wins playing that game. It's a nice P416. You guys like the P416? It's not bad. I mean, if you like the Police M4, this is just a little bit slower, a little bit stronger.
Hostiles guarding location nearby.
Yeah, so Wayne, 511 is crap, and that's the point. That's the point. Is that I'm gonna be running a 6-piece 511. I've been farming it forever. Just trying to get the right pieces, and it's really close. I think mostly the mask and the chest, mostly the chest. I gotta look. Because I want to run it like a straight up all red crit build, basically. I mean, it's okay to run armor on it, but as long as I have the right talents, because we're going to be so weakened, we got to be a little bit reasonable, right? It's like basically running no brand whatsoever. It's basically like a 6-piece crafted build. The improvise, I guess would be the other word to say, but we still have our chest and backpack talent, you know. But the point of it is like, hey, look, it's more. The point of it is like you have to meet this threshold in damage, right? And this is the part where
Control point nearby.
it's commonly dismissed, I guess is the best way to put it, you know. Because people are so power hungry, and I get why. We'll talk about why in a second. That they dismiss that, wow, the concept of wasted damage, right? Unusable damage or diminished returns on damage. You know, there's people that just don't believe that's a thing and that doesn't exist in this game, and I understand why they think like that, and we'll talk about that in a second. But the idea of running a 6-piece 511 build and even doing like a solo legendary and clearing all the heroic points that we do just as fast as we normally do it, that being the key. The point is that you just have to meet the threshold for a good time to kill, right? What is that? Let's just call it a second. 1 second to kill an elite, okay? Give or take, right? And so if you're at, you know, 0.9 seconds or 1.1 second, does it really matter? Not really. We're talking about the difference of a bullet or not, right? And that doesn't really make or break you, you know. So what makes or breaks you, you know? So as long as you have fast time to kill, which means as long as you have to meet that threshold, then it's time to start looking at other gameplay performance enhancers, such as fast time to heal or shielding, right? That will allow you to play more aggressive. That'll allow you to shoot more. Let's just put it that way. It allows you to shoot more, you know? And so if you're popping 3 med kits and a control point, you know what I mean? Like that's tough times. It really is. It's tough times, you know? And sometimes you can run like, and I've done this too myself, like 6, you know, all red, run glass cannon, and just an assault rifle, and do just fine. But it does expect a perfect gameplay, right? You can't. It's not very forgiving to mistakes, and so. But why people subscribe to over damage, right? Why they do that is usually because of how bad the scaling is in this game, and that goes back to basically this image. Like if you look at the 4-man scaling in heroic, it's 170%, right? And that's ugly. That's ugly scaling, and that's where this game has been broken, and that's where it's always been broken. And there's a lot of people that don't play this game because of that, right? The devs, I think, have done a very poor job with scaling in this game. It's just too much in 4-man heroic. It's not even fun. I hate playing 4-man heroic. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. You know, I got to tell you, like, it's not that fun going into 8-man heroic countdown either. You guys gone in there lately? I mean, it's just like, it's like I feel like I'm in like Terminator Genesis. You know what I mean? Like these nanobot Terminators coming at you and just taking half your ammo to kill one guy. It doesn't matter. All as strong as you are, you go into super strong. The point is, it's not about surviving or not. It's not about being strong. It's a matter of feeling strong. Feeling strong, you know? And you run the strongest striker, kingbreaker, whatever build you want, hit critting at 2 million if you like, you still don't feel strong in a 4-man heroic. You know, you're as strong as you can be, but you don't feel strong. And that's where this game is broken. I think that game modes that add more players, basically that's how they handle it. And I gotta tell you, I'm worried about season 2 and that incursion, because that's the devs' reputation. Right? The dev's reputation is to turn up basically their armor to ridiculous amounts. You know, expect like 15 million on a normal, you know, that's insane. You know, maybe even 18 million on a normal, because you're running with 8 men. They have to do that, right? Because if they don't, then you guys are going to smear everybody. It's going to be too easy. So how do you fix that? You know, in my opinion, I think larger hordes, many more waves, you know, surprise attacks coming from behind you, things like that, you know? And then the devs have been mitigating some of that because they've realized, okay, so you know, they've reached their cap where they can't make these guys any tankier than they already are. It's just beyond ridiculous already. So how they're compensating is by adding more hazards. And that's why we see in Descent, right? All those hazards in Descent. They couldn't get rid of the hazards because they can't make the enemies any tankier than they already are. They're ridiculous. In scaling, especially, right? And so that's why solo, like, or 2 or 3 man groups are the best way to play in the Division 2, unless you're in Legendary. Now, when you're in Legendary, it's kind of okay, right? Like, I'm kind of cool with the fact that they're that strong or whatever. The scaling isn't as bad in Legendary either, actually. Let's, see, you see on Legendary there? So it's, you know, that's the thing. And so that's why you see a lot of people have overkill on their builds, because they run maybe the same build for group and or heroic, you know? I'm sorry, group or solo. And so they need the build to be flexible for that. But I don't. I normally adjust my build if I'm gonna run in.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
I hope that guy's not following me. Oh, they are. They're everywhere. Shit. Oh, shit. Damn. All right, you can have bad starts every now and again, I guess. Street King. No, we still need to go back into the chem. We got the version 2 of the chems. I'll probably be doing that tomorrow. Yeah, so we haven't tested that second version, but I think it's going to be better than the first version. I think glass cannon on the chem, although it's really strong, it's really annoying. It requires, in my opinion, like the perfect team to go with it, because you're so fucking vulnerable. You need to make sure your team setup is right. And that's annoying, right? You can't always control that. So we're gonna like this build better already, I can tell. But you know, it's a memento. Who doesn't love a good memento? Oh, these guys are fucking everywhere, man. Look at that. Already behind me? How? Come on, get our cover, man. Ah, we lost it. Waited too long. Ah, come on, cover. that was my bad. Again, really? Fuck, we need faster bullets. We need bullet velocity. You know? God damn it. Turned into a really annoying control point, didn't it? That feels like a sizable force, the front gate. Get the party started. It's all good, Mike. Oh yeah, I miss all the time, man. I blame the game when I do, though. Look, you cheaters! Cheating. God damn it. That was a miss. We were the same color, weren't we? All right, he's not going to come out. It's annoying, I gotta reload to kill him.
Incoming
Need the right color here on the first one. So you gotta swap, swap, and then swap again. All right. There we go. One shot killing elites though. We're at that point. It's good. $12 million there. So this is, oh, this is more damage than the last version. $15 million there. These are right color though. 18. $20.
Hostile supply convoy nearby.
What do you guys think? You guys think about like future? Would you use future? Determine allows you to clear content faster, but future is also fun to play into, especially if you get into more difficult content where you're kind of pinned down. You get pinned down a lot more. It requires more precision out of you, but it's not more precision, it's default precision if you think about it, right?
Hell yes.
Supply room access unlocked.
There's lots of different ways you can go with this too. You could also, yeah, I was just gonna say the artificer. I was just gonna bring that up. You can also like go decoy an artificer is an interesting way to play too. You'd have to take off all your skill damage, of course, but that's a fun alternative.
Detected. Nearby location. Guarded by hostiles.
But with your trophies, you know, that's a pretty strong artificer. It's all backpack mods here. You could do traps to protect your zone. Drone for more focus fire from your skills to eliminate those unwanted targets, the targets that you don't want to shoot at, like heavy gunners, turrets. Not so serious gaming. The fastest for me, for proficiency level, just donating crap, junk, and resources. I mean, the real fastest way is through your secondary. The true fastest way for expertise all around is going to be research, and if you have the ability to leverage an extra character. So, which I would, right? So, for example, I got 11,000 watch. So if I deleted my fourth character and then started a new one with about 3 to 4 hours investment, I'd get so many resources I could buy my way through all my proficiency. And you do that by going through your watch, right? And purchasing printer filament. So through printer filament is that you get the most bang from your buck by researching with donating that resource. And so, I mean, you're talking about what some people do in months, you know, you can do roughly in probably 10 hours all in, maybe, give or take. It's never been really worth it for me to do that. I mean, it's kind of been on my list of things to do. Like right now I'm at, I don't even know what my expertise is, 18 or something like that. So it's always kind of been on my list of things to do just to kind of finish it off, but it hasn't been a priority, a big enough priority for me to actually do it apparently. Okay, so we need to go for the right color on that first kill to get the most out of that, and then let's get that second kill. Really? Really? This guy's magic, man. I swear. My bullets don't count on some of these guys. Now, sometimes our cover's a little janky when it comes to, like, I don't know if you guys notice this, but, like, it shifts perspective on you a little bit. And, like, an example is, I mean, like, when somebody's riot foaming you while you're in aim, it changes your camera perspective. Very annoying. It's like, it shouldn't do that. Stuff like that will never change, though.
Civilians in danger.
Because, you know, they did, it's like basic stuff that's been coded into the game from day one.
Heavily armored hostile detected. Civilians in distress.
Just the boss. So if I ran a different sniper, one that I could no scope on, then you could be grabbing your trophies as you're going, and then that's gonna boost your skills, give them an overcharge. It's not really an overcharge, but increased damage, stacking, right? We're stacking skill efficiency when we do that for 10 seconds. And so you can just keep going. I mean, you kill so much, there's so many trophies out here.
Detecting additional hostile.
See, we got more tip of spear. And so that's the part where, you know, I'm glad we don't run the backpack all the time, because I mean, you don't use your TAC 50 that much, you know? And so if you roll into the backpack, you're rolling into your TAC 50 and you don't use it enough. It wouldn't quite be efficient use of your build slot. That was a bad shot. That was a good shot and it didn't count. They love hiding behind their turret. You see that? They try to get you to hit that turret. Ah, this fucker. fucking hate fighting this thing. It never goes for the enemy. Lots of trophies out there, huh? Could probably turn on skills too. Not skills, but directives, sorry. You know what I mean, right? Directives? I'm not happy with our set of directives right now. They're kind of lame. Well, it's mostly, to be honest with you, like when I run directives, I like running all 5 of them, and one of them's glitched. So it's like, I kind of feel like if I'm not running 5, I might as well run 0. Took a lot to use all that ammo, huh? And then there's ammo laying all over the floor. So what I'm gonna do is power up my drone as it's shooting him. We're just gonna grab our trophies. Let it finish him off. Hopefully we get the duration. So we're getting duration every time I pick up one of these things. Oh, too late. Wasn't enough. So you see these, every time we pick up a trophy, it's about a second off. And we're also upgrading that threat level. Really? There it is. There it goes. Flying donkeys, is that what you call them? I like that. I might use that. Get on that donkey, donkey! Get up on that donkey, donkey! Isn't there a song like that? The extra XP is worth it. It is, Royal. I mean, I don't really need the extra XP. I mean, if you're gonna run directives, like now during events is when you want to do it, so I'll turn them on. But it's just that, I mean, I guess it also, you got to consider what build you're running. Like if you're going to put on ammo hoarders and you're running an assault rifle, I mean, it can be kind of painful, right? And not worth the extra XP because you're not really getting the extra XP because it's slowing you down. So the amount of XP per hour, you know, might not be there. And so I figure the way I look at it personally is like, how many directives and what directives I run depends on the build. So if I'm running a build like this one can afford directives, right? We're not relying on anything really. So this one's broken though, so we don't really want to run that. Ragers kind of sucks right now. I mean, Ragers kind of sucks because it makes tanky enemies tankier. So something to consider. But the other ones, we're not really relying on our skills because we got one-shot kill capability, so that's good. We don't need that much armor, fog of wars, whatever. So, but fragile armor is broken and it has been forever. So but if you're in it for just for the challenge, then totally, right? Totally. but not at the sacrifice of fun, you know? And I've been meaning to do a video on this because it's a very important subject, really, is that the reality is that the most important metric in the game is fun. And it's subjective and impossible to really measure, but that's what's going to keep you playing in the game. Not the strongest build in the game, not the weakest build in the game, the tankiest, the most armor, the least amount of armor, an all red build, a max crit build, the Saint Elmo or the Eagle Bearer. It's how much fun you're having, you know? And the build does contribute to that, you know, it does. And so that's why you don't really want to be forced to run any particular build because somebody is saying that you're garbage if you don't, you know? And then you're not having fun, and then you know, then you're playing something different. You know? What good is that? What value is that? You know? Okay, so we're gonna match our color here. I think we lost all our trophies. Yeah, we did. Okay. So that was our activator shot. So the next one's gonna be our kill shot. If we can get it. There it is. We got this guy behind us. That weirdo. Okay, we got cool skills now. Keep that in mind. Oh, wow. You see him hide his head like that? Some of these shots that are misses are kind of unbelievable for me. To be honest with you. Fucking arrow dudes are annoying me too. It's not your fight, man. Oh, that wasn't a kill shot.
Reinforcement complete.
It's a hell of a decoy. It's still, I don't know how it's still up right now. Threw it like an hour ago. Let's power up that skill. Coming through, coming through. See that? Make me waste a bullet. Duration on the decoy is nuts. Are none of my trophies picking up? Look. Am I not stacking any trophies? What's going on here? You seen this? See what I'm saying? This is that directive bullshit. Look. I mean, how many trophies have I grabbed? Is it a bit? Look, no bonus. I mean, just a little bit of bonus armor. I got no trophies. I mean, I don't know if it's a visual glitch or not, but I'm worried. Dude.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
We have to reset again because of the trophy thing. Has anybody figured out how to fix that? Although, did you figure out how to fix that? I can't remember. It's not the first time it's happened to me, but I haven't had it happen in a while. Is it just as easy as resetting the map? Or do I have to take off the memento? Do I have to log out? I don't remember. I mean, because it's possible they're there, but either way, when I pick up a trophy,
Access unlocked.
that doesn't look like the right amount of bonus armor to me. You know what I mean? That little sliver. I mean, there's 2 trophies right there, right? And I'm not running the armor, fragile armor thing. Ooh, a nice little disrupt resistance mod. Probably don't need it anymore. Status crit and spotter. God rolled. I could go red or yellow. Golan's a pretty good gear set, I gotta admit. Got lots of Golan in my bag. Status builds are always fun. Yeah, we got the reset. Boo, game, boo. Is there any trophies around? Yeah, there's one. Let me take it off and then put it back on. Let's see if when I grab that trophy, it sticks. It does. Cool. All right, that fixed it. But now we got to get more trophies. Please help. Yeah, it looked like it just worked, Joker, just taking it off and putting it back on, but yeah. You see, now I got that little, the little arm there. Strong arm. Sorry about that. What a hassle. Either way, we were good without trophies. I mean, look at that walker. Woo. It's a good day. It's a good day. We're getting good drops. Not anything I'm necessarily looking for, but 2 really nice god rolls. All right, let's reset control points. Might as well, because we just lost all our trophies. Thanks to Tokes. You were right. It is a lot more fun running that backpack, the Memento. Yeah, it does, Patrick. You know, I did an interesting study, and I highlighted it in the first St. Elmo video when it first dropped. I'll drop this for you, Pat. Check this one out. I explained how status effects works on St. Elmo, and Golan, of course, has status effects. Give me a second here. Drop it for everybody. Just like a quick 1-2 minute demo inside this video. Explains how scaling the status effects. Basically, the Memento in St. Elmo's, like to sum it up, is all the status effects you need. The Memento gives you the 30%. That's all you really need. But in short, it's about 20% status effects as you want, and then anything in addition to that, it doesn't scale so hot. For what you need, because you only need them to stand there long enough to DPS them down. So that's what I mean. So anything more than that is not going to really go to your benefit. You just need enough. The way I looked at it is that you need enough to be able to swap to your cabaret, if you want to. If you want to. So, I mean, of course, if you don't want to, then who cares? But that's all you need. And that was about 20% status effects on your build. And otherwise, that's the equivalent to 30% on the Memento. So you're going to find that really interesting in that if you really think about what's going on there with the trophies and how that skill efficiency stacks. It's actually pretty interesting. Because if you think about it, you'd be like, wait a second, what you're telling me, Tux, is that 30% skill efficiency on the Memento is equal to 20% status effects on your build? I am telling you that. So the way the trophies stack is not as optimal, apparently. And we know that about like total weapon damage versus just weapon damage, right? Is additive versus adding a multiplier to your backpack. So we already know that part, but it's interesting that the skill efficiency is that way too. And so, yeah, so if I ran a Golan plus a status effects roll, did I have that? Do I have one of those? I don't know if I have one of those right now on me. There we go. Yeah, right there. So that's 20% status effects. That's equivalent, like roughly equivalent of 30% skill efficiency in the Memento towards status effects. So you could waste the 2 slots on your build, or you could just run the Memento and get a lot more, like weapon damage and armor regen and whatever. And it pairs up nicely with the St. Elmo. So I think best in slot for St. Elmo's is actually the Memento. And then that gives you the ability to swap to cabaret and stuff like that, and preserve that shock ammo. Not all the time, but in those like onesie twosie engagements. I'm thinking about a different skill. The downside of running the Artificer is that you gotta kind of be in a relatively close proximity to your turret. The decoy is got the right duration to allow you to move a lot. That's why I kind of like it. The drone, the fixer drone, gets them to kind of act weird, which is okay because once you have determined, you can shoot them in the body. So let's test this one out. And make use of that damage. Perfect blend is fun. You know, I don't know if you saw the perfect blend with the double companion. That was really crazy, bro. Now, obviously, they changed double companion, doesn't work. So, but it was crazy strong. But yeah, so the perfect blend, I used to run glass cannon. Now you have the companion option with crits, if you run it with crits. You know, so that's really nice. You can run companion, capacitor, crits everywhere on the chest, companion chest, and then run your memento, and then you don't have to run glass cannon. Now, glass cannon does help your skills, though, of course. So, okay, so switching here. So remember, we got to match colors, which we are, to this Dudio. And we'll pick him off. Oh, apparently we didn't. That's right, I forgot, sorry. Got to activate first. I always forget that detail. There we go, now we're rocking.
Reinforcements en route.
Now, we just need to activate this if I can get a target here. There's one. All right, now we body shot city. As you can see, we don't need all our trophies to do this. We don't have any. You just need to maintain the headhunters. So basically, just don't time out. Which means you got to kill one guy every 30 seconds. Oh, timed out there. I think we need our, oops. I think we need our trophies to ensure we don't underperform against, what do you call it? Ragers, that's what I'm looking for. Because we're getting 50% dampened damage, and then Ragers. What color do I need? A blue guy? There we go. So I'll let them weaken that boss a little bit. I'm going to break my other turret. He's pretty busy, huh? And then we one-shot kill the boss. And that's how you want to use your skills. Oh. So we underperformed on that shot, and I don't know why. Ragers can kind of be finicky sometimes, and every now and again it'll get you to miss a kill, and I don't really... You know, you chain killing with Ragers. right? And then all of a sudden one of these guys just doesn't die, and you're like, what just happened? I think sometimes Ragers is stacking is my best bet, but I don't guess, but I don't really know, you know? So I mean, look, they got all Ragers and we're gonna one-shot kill them all. You see that? 15 million, 18 million. And then at some point we just stop, and it's not because of tip of spear. We don't need it. It's just a nice to have. But I don't know, has anybody else noticed that? Or am I just... So he's pretty weak now, so we could probably take him. What do you guys think? I can get that shot. Come on. He's way back there. Really? That turret was getting me there? No way, right? Game cheats. Oh, look at that goal in. Oh, it's so too bad it has skilled there. Because you could make that all red with like obliterate. Oh, so tempting. All red Golans are nice. Nice. Especially for like St. Elmo's or Scorpio builds. I have all red and all yellow Golans. That's what I'm saying. It's a really good set. I mean, you can, if you like to get creative and stuff like that, you know, going all... Having the variations to do that is nice on that set. Surprised we haven't gotten rogues yet. Kind of like my APOC cowboy look. Need a better backpack option for it though. Chef's kiss, huh? Anyway, so kind of once you get going, I really feel like, you know, the event is a breeze and tolerable and fun, you know, just because I'm not really worried about the color too much, minimally, just to start out. So we got 11 stars. We're in our 4th chest. So that's not bad. Let's see here. What did I need? Oh, look at this, yeah. Crap. Oh, I don't want to delete that because it's so close, but I don't think I can do anything with it. Status effect, skill damage, tamper proof? No. Really? I'm being attacked right now. Oh, my own guy's shooting me. Cool, dude. Yeah, that's right, Grumpy. It makes it, you know, makes it very tolerable, right? Yeah, you don't have to have skills with this, guys. You know, we're just exploring. You can go all sniper. You run a mantis. Go all sniper mantis, you know? I mean, determined is pretty fun. But the mantis can feel like you're running determined because once you, those decoys just make your headshot so much easier to land.
Detected.
Such a nice little rifle too. handles nicely. But yeah, you can just go pure sniper here and not worry about color. Rifle builds, some pistols too. I think the Liberty, Regulus. Not sure if you'd have enough damage with the D50. I'm not sure. I don't remember. You could probably run an Eclipse build too, don't you think? Oh, that pole was right in my way.
Hostile control point identified. Incoming hostiles detected.
Ah.
Detecting additional hostile contacts.
Drone's watching my back. Good drone. Need to finish the job, I guess, huh? Still learning how to jump. Probably expired, but let's see. Yeah. One shot killing elites now, that's good. Even without the dealio being active. Tip a spear.
Reinforcements incoming.
Can you believe there's people that still haven't discovered Determined yet? That always amazes me. It's like, oh, boy, are you gonna be in for a surprise. So I'm sending my skills on that big boy. We'll take out everybody else. We got the boss already? Wow. That was fast, huh?
Incoming hostiles detected.
But they love to do that. Hide behind their goddamn turret. It's a good shot. Take it. Give me a kill. Ah, so annoying. Rogues! This will be the fastest rogue encounter you've ever seen. There it is. Those skills were doing a number on that guy though, huh? Strong skills. Liking that. Alright, let's destroy this.
Access unlocked.
Stay. One more dead.
What are our skills at right now? 112, that 113, that's pretty good. Pretty good. Little backup weapons for you. Xena. Yeah. What up, Tanny? Oh, don't forget to do your exotic projects if you haven't done all that. Anybody doing Descent lately? Am I the only one that hasn't been in there? Kind of feeling bad about it. I want to. I do. Like, it's in my heart. My heart wants to. My mind's telling me no. But my body. You don't know why. I mean, because it is fun. You want to get there and get that power. That's if you know it. It's a good switch up too. But boy, it's frustrating when you die from something stupid though, right? You're like, God damn it. You know, standing next to a gas canister you didn't notice was there or something. The last time I was in there, the last day I was in there, one of the things I died from was, I cleared the room and it was like, I wasn't that far in. It was like, you know, loop 5 or something like that. And there was this one like sniper left or whatever, and so I was just kind of going to rush her and get her. It was an easy kill, you know. And then she shoots a gas tank right as I'm running by it, like with precision and perfect timing, and I die. It had to start all over. It was like, no way, no way. Almost like I ran into a trap that she sprung on me, you know? It was just like... It was just, no way. Guy doesn't come out of the closet. Oh, that's the worst. Or your armor kit doesn't work. Remember that one? Oh, shit. Or taking damage through cover. You're like, wait, what's happening? Is there somebody behind me? Oh, you turn around. There's like, there's nobody behind me. Wait, I'm taking damage through cover. Holy shit. And it's too late. You're dead. Okay, so we should be able to one-shot the right color here. No. We need to activate, apparently. Really? I mean, that right there, I mean, that, right? That fire grenade. Like, really? Because, I mean, I was on an elevated tier there. I don't really feel like I should have been caught by that. The game doesn't care about what you feel, though, does it? Really? Fish in a barrel, huh?
Detecting additional hostile contacts. Reinforcements in place.
What's happened there? You see that? So I think because of their distance, it counted like they were not in the fight. So I lost my buff. Not weird? Because all of a sudden I just lost my one-shot kill capability for no reason. Oops. That was not a good kill. Try that again. Yeah, that guy's heavy. Let our skills do him. So unfortunately he's wearing a helmet, so he's gonna be 2 shots unless I can get my skills to take him out. Which they don't have much left in them. Come on, Twitchy McTritterson. Here we go. Mandy. Oh, Wayne, you gotta get to work. Welcome to my world, man. Where the little princesses run things. Yup. Just submit, brother. Just submit. My whole life was the color pink, man. Pink princess butts. Man, girls, little having daughters, man, they're so bossy and moody. So moody. Always in some sort of mood, man. You don't know what to expect, especially in the morning. It's like, hey, girls, don't look at me. It's like, whoa. Jesus Christ. Good morning to you, too. Anybody else suffer through daughter syndrome as much as I do? Yep. Can't shake it. You got twin 19-year-olds? Oh God, that's gotta be the worst. But maybe they kind of deal with each other though. They take care of each other to some degree, maybe. I don't know. Total, that sounds like a nightmare. All the boys flocking towards them, it sounds like. They hate each other? What? They're like the opposite twin. They're like the worst twins ever. That's funny. They're opposite twins. They're like each other's doppelganger. Are they identicals? Always thought it'd be cool to have twins, you know? Just kind of get it over with. That's cool. Let's see who we got here. See, we one-shot killed that guy. And he was... I don't know why, you know? In the last control point, we weren't able to do that. Come on, get me out of this. Ah, bad toss. I lost the buff, I guess? I have to break my turret.
Reinforcements incoming.
I'll wait till my other skill comes off cooldown. Looks like they got some golden tickets in there, man. If you're lucky enough, they'll carry you through retirement. Retire early. You got to start programming them now to that they got to contribute to the daddy fund when they get their jobs. For all the shit you had to go through when they were young.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
I like this rifle a lot. There's just something about it, you know? The way it handles. It's that mod, really. Come on, come on. Ah, it's too slow.
Incoming hostiles detected.
Fucking stupid skill. Come on, I can get one of you, right? Jesus. Apparently not. God damn it. Finally.
Hostile detected.
Oh yeah, the poll question relates to the, sorry if I confused you. It relates to the video that's pinned at the top of the chat, the latest video. Reminder, if you haven't seen it, check it out. And because I'm, you know, always kind of evolving my editing style and the channel's direction and how I present information. And so it's kind of seeing what you guys think about this latest one. Any feedback there would be really helpful. So the Cowboy Strong pinned at the top of the chat. Sorry, I should have, I guess, put more instructions in the poll itself. Apologies for the confusion. You know, so talking about like kind of high energy and the level of entertainment with the amount of information, you know, and that's kind of beyond just length, but length, you know, most people prefer around 10-minute videos, give or take, you know. So I try to generally stay in that realm, just so it's digestible, the content. But different people have different levels of preferences when it comes to like the entertainment value. So that's kind of what I'm measuring mostly. And it also is generally a new direction. Because it's merging these two styles of content that I've been developing over the last maybe 5 months or something. And so one is if where I did it the first time, if you remember, and it's a little bit different. And so it's emerging these concepts is, if you remember the Great White Ninja Sniper build, that was the first time I did that style of high edits, kind of like lots of memes and kind of comical. But through memes, visuals. And then lately you've probably been seeing a lot of like the AI, you know, like where in this case it was like Neil Patrick Harris, where I manipulate them kind of like puppets. Oh, look at 2 gunners, that sucks. And so, and then there's a storyline as well where I do kind of like the story, right? Kind of like, imagine this, you're in a Division 2 cowboy, blah, blah, blah. And it's all comical, it's not serious. And so what I did is in this case, I merged those two concepts, right? With the AI storytelling concept with the high energy, fast paced, comical meme concept. I'm probably not doing a very good job of explaining the concept, but I don't know what else to call them. But God, that guy's way down the street. This is a skill tips. 6 skill tier tips built to bypass the event is basically what we're doing. Yeah, I like basically that, Biko. Yeah, the merciless code, exactly. Yeah.
Hostiles detected.
And so what I'm bringing, that's a good way to put it. Like, so what I'm bringing in is like the merciless code with the Great White Ninja, you know? And then so from here, it's a balancing act between the two. And the Great White Ninja is really, what that is as how the, like a more creative way to one is to present the build before the walkthrough. So there's really 3 parts, right? There's the kind of the storyline introduction, and then there's the gameplay, and then there's the build walkthrough, right? And the build walkthrough is always the driest, and so ultimately what I would like to do is deliver that in a new way all together, and I'm not there yet, you know? And for it all to come out in like a 10-minute video still. But I want I guess the entertainment value to maintain throughout the full 10 minutes. And, you know, once you get to the build part, it gets, you know, build explanation is the relatively dry part, you know, that's where it gets kind of boring, right? But at the same time, that's what the Division is overall. And if you kind of evaluate all the content that we have, it's just pretty straightforward delivery on builds, you know? And it's just so much more to the presentation of information, you know what I mean? Than just that. And, you know, I'm kind of looking at the big picture for the channel, which goes beyond the Division 2, right? Because we're going to have other games that will enter probably here soon, as a matter of fact, right? So starting in September, we're going to have the X Defiant. We're going to have the Division Resurgence right around the corner, probably before the end of the year. And then we're going to have Heartland. We don't know for sure when Heartland is going to be, but it's around the corner. And so there's so much more than just delivering, hey, this build is really cool and it's really strong and it's strong and you can kill a lot of people with it. This is the right way to run it. And, you know, you still want to present that information, but in a more entertaining way, you know, more personality, more character, more tuck sauce. And then, like, because the other way is, I mean, I can also split the content, right? Like, I could also split it where I got videos that are pure entertainment value, you know, meme, like Great White Ninja concept without build explanation. Just kind of go out there, have fun, kill, you know, maybe show a picture of the build, but no real explanation on it, just fun. Just for entertainment purpose. But it's all relative still to the game. And then do the more straightforward build videos separately, you know, build walkthroughs. But I think ideally for like channels health, for the channel's health, you'd in theory want them to be the same video, whatever it is, right? Otherwise, you'll get some people watching this one and not people not watching that one, and then you end up having like videos that fail. You know, content that fails, it'll fail. Yeah, I think, I mean, I don't want to lose that either, P-Dog, you're right. Like, I think people see value, because there's a lot of people that can't show up to the live streams and listen to the logic and why I'm running it. You know, Like, for example, on this last video, somebody made a comment like, oh, you want a better build, run it with the Memento and blah, blah, blah. And it's sort of like, oh, you missed the point. It's a Dodge City holster build. You can't run a Dodge City holster with the Memento. You missed the point, right? And or you didn't know the point. You didn't know that was a Dodge City holster development, you know, whatever. But so not everybody is kind of able to be there for, you know, the development processes of some of this stuff, granted. And so some people come to YouTube only for the short content, whatever you call it. Easier to digest stuff. People are on the go. Don't have all day to watch live streams, I'm sure. But I guess. But I think the live stream community is, I don't know, it seems to be different people that on the live streams that are not always the same people that are watching all the videos. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, I'm surprised when I'm talking to some people here in live streams and they say, oh, I haven't seen that video. I'll be like, oh, you didn't even know I had a video out today. And I was like, that's interesting. You know what I mean? Because like these people are like so very regular on the live streams, like, you know, but yet they don't realize that a video went out or don't necessarily care to watch them. They're more here for that the live interaction, community interaction, which makes a lot of sense. It is this social media application.
Hostile control point nearby.
How many stars have we got here yet? 25, and we're at level 7 basically. What do we got this season? We got named, season cash. Yeah, YouTube is bad for notifications, I agree. Like if you're on your cell phone, at least on iPhone app, like if you go down to your library and then the subscription, hit the subscription buttons where it lists all the people that you've subscribed to. There's a bell. It's an easy way to turn on your bell for who you want to, your notifications, if you haven't done that. But a lot of people say that they've done that and then they still don't get notifications. YouTube sucks. That way they really do. Clean some of this up real quick. It's almost that time. We got to start cleaning out our stash. Make room for the next wave. What do you guys think they're gonna do for builds? What's your guess? What do you think we're gonna get? More PvP stuff? More Cavalier shit? Type stuff? Or PVE? Is it gonna be shotguns, rifles? So we got an assault rifle. I bet you it's gonna be an SMG. And probably knees. Right? I'm trying to think about it. So we got the St. Elmo's in the holster. And then before that, we got the Ninja Bike backpack. I think with, I think before that was the Ninja with Doctor's Home, wasn't it? Oh no, it was that Sniper. The Sacrum. And then before that was Doctor's Home and the, what did we get with the Doctor's Home? Exotic wise. Oh, Bloody Knuckles, I think. So I feel like we're in. So I think it's going to be SMGs. I think we're ready for SMGs and shotguns, right? Because the Doctor's Home is a rifle. That was just a couple of seasons ago. So, and then we got the AR, and then we got the sniper, which sucks. But either way, so I think we're ready for like knees or chest piece, and then an exotic SMG, and then possibly an exotic pistol. Except we did get the Busy Bee along with the Doctor's Home, so probably not a pistol. So that's my bet. I bet you it's going to be chest or knee pads, and then an SMG. Yeah. For exotics, for gear sets. So we just got a tank healer hybrid, sort of, whatever you want to call Cavalier. Normally the gear set would kind of align with the other two things. So if it ends up being an SMG, then there's something SMG related. You know, I could see SMG bleed, an SMG bleed concept. That would be kind of cool. Or SMG bonus armor concept. That would be cool. Bleed and bonus armor together would be really cool. How many weeks we have left? I think, let's see here. That's a good question. I was just wondering that myself. So we have 2 weeks and 4 days for Golden Bullet. And then that runs for a week. So the season ends in 3 weeks and 4 days. So, and then sometimes it depends on the development cycle. Sometimes there's 1 to 2 weeks gap between the next season. So at most, we're 6 weeks out. At the least, we're 4 weeks out if they go right back to the end of the season. So sometimes they surprise us and they actually do that. So we're just like, holy shit. And I'm like not ready as a content creator. I'm like, oh my God, I have so many things on my list that I wanted to get done before the next season, you know? And so that's really right. And we're right around the corner. But as soon as, so you should probably start seeing things taper down. The game kind of gets slow around this point, especially after this final manhunt. But I mean, I think we could have used a better lineup. You know, I guess that would have made it more. Guardians, Hollywood, and Polarity. I think that slowed things down, that lineup. Golden Bullet at the end, it's annoying. So I think they should have done probably Hollywood, Reanimated, and then Polarity, and then Golden Bullet. That would have made it a more exciting season, I think. Hey, you know what I heard? Let me ask you, has anybody else had this happen? The 7th gear slot, I don't think it's going to happen until Q4. It's part of the new build system. But what I was going to say is the... so somebody commented that they got the St. Elmo's exotic at level 60. And it dropped for them in Countdown. They were farming assault rifles in Countdown, and they got the St. Elmo's exotic when they were at level 60 without unlocking it. Has anybody else seen that? It's also possible somebody else got it and dropped it, shared it with them, and he didn't realize it. But thought that was really interesting. That would probably be new to with the patch. Because with this last 18.3, they said they added St. Elmo's to the loot pool. They might have broke it. Yeah, I'd be surprised if they don't do a PTS. Is that it? I mean, the last one was kind of worthless, wasn't it? I don't know. I mean, I like knowing what we're gonna get. It does help a little bit, but I also wouldn't give a damn if we didn't have the PTS test anymore. I think it's worthless. It's obvious the feedback isn't really taken. You know what I mean? It's just like, I'm pretty surprised. I think they rely more on live feedback, see how things interact. I mean, because they do make changes, they do, but it's just like 1 or 2 small changes I noticed, and it's. I mean, we like look at the Sacred Imperium. I mean, that got some major feedback. Everybody said the same thing, and none of those changes made it for release. What was the point? You know, it took, I think, 2 title updates to get the time reduced on the charge up. I really want to have a talk with whoever's coming up, whoever's designing these exotic weapons and gear sets. I really, really do. It's just like, I swear, and I know the devs say that they play the game, they do say that, but it's like, there's no way they're playing the game. There's no way. You know what I mean? It's just like, there's no way, because they would know that melees suck, or they would know that blah, 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 you know? Whatever the downside is. That, I mean, the Sacred Imperium, what are we gonna do with that? What are we ever gonna do with that thing? You know? And I'll be surprised, I'll be honest with you, like, I had a really good time creating that, you know, I ranked, you know, that video where I ranked all the exotics, because it forced me to use every exotic, literally all 40 of them, to make the video. And, you know, and I just kind of whipped together some reasonable builds just to showcase the exotic, you know. And, you know, a lot of them was nice to resurface, like this Dodge City holster one. It was a really good build. Fun. It was just as effective as my Memento builds, you know, running around with all that bonus armor and one-shotting everything. You didn't need anything else. And it felt really good. And so I was like, oh, this is nice, you know. The exotic still has its drawbacks, of course, you know. Like when you miss your Dodge City shot and then you have to wait 30 seconds to get it back, that really sucks. And then you end up using your Nemesis, and then you're like, might as well just, you know, you can make the decision to not run the Dodge City anymore and put something else there into the slot and just rely on your Nemesis, which takes time to charge up. So the Nemesis has its downsides. But anyways, it was nice to be able to cycle through all the exotics. Like one that we haven't done in a while is like the Busy Bee, as an example, right? Like, do I have it in here, I wonder? We need to have a Busy Bee little lab. It's been a while since we've done that. I've always felt like the Busy Little Bee is a really nice one on skill builds. Got 2 liberties. One's ranked. Crush this other one, I guess. But it'd be nice to come up with some sort of really good DPS build. I mean, the one that makes sense for me would be like a fast swap negotiators build, because you're tagging a bunch of enemies. I don't know. Yeah, if they do barely, it's just sort of like. But anyways, yeah, this weapon designer. I mean, like. A perfect example is the perfect Thunderstrike talent, right? Like, I mean, on the LMG, are we serious? Right? So imagine the what is it called? The Big Show, right? The Big Show LMG version of the Cabaret. So the Cabaret kind of has a place, right? If you want to, I do see the value there, because if you want to reserve your St. Elmo's engine ammo, shock them and then blast them down, you can manage that with just a little bit of status effects on your build. So, you know, this is a playable one to get your ammo to last longer and then wait for the next big wave, right? So I like that. The Cabaret does have its a limited use here. But the Big Show, I mean, what are we gonna do with that, right? I mean, the only thing I can think of with the Big Show is throwing out a tier 6 shock skill, right? the shock traps. But anybody who's not in the shock at the moment, you're gonna be worthless to them. And you got 6 skill tiers on an LMG that's not strong enough. You know what I mean? So it's just like you're only powerful for a second or 2, right? And then anybody who's not in your trap, in your shock trap, you're weak against. I mean, and your swap time to LMG, so you can be like, oh, well, use, you know, say Elmo's, and as soon as somebody's shocked, switch to LMG. By the time that happens, they're not under shock anymore. They're no longer shocked. You know, the swap time is too slow. It's a bad weapon. Yeah, it needs a no reload build. Yeah, I like that. It needs a low reload and very high DPS. You need to be able to kill somebody under 2 seconds, because the swapping to that weapon is going to eat into your status duration. So you need like a 1 second kill time, basically. And you know how LMGs are. They're not the best for that. It's just, anyways, it's just basic. It's just really basic, you know? I mean, it's just basic. It's just like, how did this weapon, you know, especially when you know we got stash space issues and shit like that. Like, how does this weapon clear? How did this weapon clear? I mean, who was like, yeah, that looks like a really good weapon? It's like, fuck, did you try it? Did it feel good? Were you having fun when you were using it? There's no way anybody would had fun testing this weapon, the Sacrum. There's no way. It is literally the worst exotic. It made it to, I mean, anything that starts with imp at the beginning is a bad exotic, basically. It became worse than the Imperial holster. And I didn't think that was ever gonna be possible. This gun is worse than the Imperial holster. You know? Chad and accounting. The same guy that came up with Hot Pockets created the Sacrum Imperium. Hot Pockets. Like, it's, I mean, it's, some of these weapons were good at one time, right? Like the Merciless is one of the beginning weapons, and as we evolved, we realized the Diamondback was actually pretty good, but when Headhunter came out, it made this weapon basically pointless. That's because the 1886 rifle, which is just unstoppable with Headhunter, and the Diamondback, if you use it with Headhunter, would make the Diamondback's talent pointless, so it just becomes a pointless weapon. The Doctor's Home is actually pretty good. That's one of the newer ones, but it started out stupid, right? Do you guys remember how stupid? I mean, how obvious was that? I was like, really? Like, we got to get out of, I mean, it only took me one legendary run to realize it wasn't going to work. I was like, there's no way we're going to be able, I ran Negotiator's Dilemma with high armor so that I can get out there and grab the trophies or the kits. No way. No way. And so nobody was getting heals from the thing at first. Now it's fixed, right? So that's good. But like, how did that not click for somebody? Did they not try it? Were they playing on easy story mode? Like, how did this happen? Right? The Ravenous and its cover issues are major, but whatever. I feel like this one was specifically designed for the raid, and so it's actually good that it's locked behind a raid, because it basically only works with the raid. But some people have said that they've excelled at using it outside of the raids, and yeah, that's possible. The blue screen is on the weaker side, but at least it does what it does. It's basically point and shoot. Backfire's fine. Bighorn sucks, but it's always been a handling issue that this weapon has had. It still has that handling issue. And so it gets glorified because it has the potential to put out mega DPS, but you miss so many shots with it. It doesn't do as good as the statistics say it does. It's got a very small mag, and you have to go for 100% headshots in order to maintain your headshot damage stacks, because that's the only benefit you get from it is headshot damage. So if you're not going for the head, why are you even running the bighorn? So you have to go for the head the whole time to maintain it, basically, at least 60-70% of your shots. And on a 40-round mag, going for a small target means you're missing a lot. But I don't necessarily think this weapon needs a rework. It's already been reworked. So, you know, they already reworked it. It's probably as good as it's going to get. It's kind of a trophy gun. The Eagle Bearer was nerfed, and I think that's why it is where it is. Chameleon's fine. Mantis is fine. Dread Edict is fine. But yeah, you know, there's something about everything. Of course, I don't expect everything to be perfect, but my point is that some of these weapons is like the Sacrum is like, that's a newer one, so that one's irritating. Because it's like, we just can't afford weapons like the Sacrum anymore. We can't not in this game. In the Big Show, in Cavalier. Cavalier's crap. What up, Boosted? I mean, Cavalier is crap. Leave Hot Pockets out of this. Hot Pocket. I'm a Jim Gaffigan fan, so. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I don't expect every exotic to be perfect, but some of them just really stand out. Cavalier stands out too. As a really bad gear set. I don't have one on me right now, but I mean, Hot Shot's 4-piece isn't that hot either. It's very limited of the right weapons and determined talent. Now the determined's fixed or in some sort of weird in-between place. You know, Hot Shots is a pretty good gear set, but it's good with the Mantis at least. At least there's one weapon that's a good weapon that it pairs up with, whether determined is there or not. But without determined, without the Mantis, Hot Shots as a 4-piece doesn't have a place, but as a 3-piece, it's damn powerful on a lot of different builds. So that's good. It replaced the 3-piece aces, basically. The 3-piece aces used to be really good. Yeah, I don't like the Cavalier just because I don't feel like a tank, and it's kind of a tank build, and I don't feel like a good healer either. Because, like, basically for Cavalier to feel good, I needed to work in Legendary, and Legendary doesn't have enough status effects to where I care to give, or skill protection, or skills to, I mean, like, have you run a full tank Cavalier set and tried to go up against a Legendary skill and like the Black Tusk skills? They mow you down so fast. It's like, I'm not getting any skill protection. Well, the reality is that there's never just a skill. There's also a red guy shooting at you, and that's why you're going down fast. You know what I mean? And so that's why I struggle with the Cavalier, is like, it doesn't work in Legendary, and that's why would I want to support a 4-man group outside of, I mean, that's like where our support builds need to work, is in Legendary. And Legendary doesn't have enough status effects, and it's not enough protection against skills to make it worth it. You're better off just giving your team bonus armor. Just give them bonus armor, you know? Or bonus armor and heals. And then if you run future, you're giving them more damage too. This could be good. Or just run an Eclipse protocol build. I mean, that's kind of my thing. Like, if somebody's running a Cavalier build and be like, can you just run an Eclipse? You know, just hold them with Riot Foam and we'll take them down. Or pulse those tanks. I don't need to be immune to the tank damage. It's not going to happen. You know, it's not going to happen. Just maybe pulse them. I'd rather have True Patriot, right? Because True Patriot's going to give me more damage, and it's going to diminish incoming damage from that marked target. Probably he does a better job of Cavalier, as a matter of fact, True Patriot, at diminishing damage. Because you could diminish damage from NPCs and skills, not just skills. Yeah, so I just don't know what to do with it. But for PvP, obviously, it's got a place, because you need to combat your, what do you call it? Your St. Elmo players. That shock ammo's nasty. I'm seeing people in there. It's such an unfair advantage. Oh my gosh. The large mag comes in handy too. Anybody in there right now? Running shock is pretty crazy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, St. Elmo's is a really good weapon, Boosted. You're right, because like it's really a great DPS weapon. Just like you'd be like, you know what, when I get the shock ammo, great. Otherwise, I don't give a crap. I got nice mods and a big mag and a straight shooter, right? That's cool. That makes me happy. And it does. And it feels great. It's not the strongest in the game, but it does a damn good job, right? Just talent aside. And then if you use it as a utility with the shock, you're like, wow, I'm the best crowd controller in the game. You know, when you're using the shock ammo to help your team from a crowd control perspective and bonus armor perspective and whatever else you're doing. And so that's like, you know, and so you can use it either way. And that's why it's such a good weapon, because of all the different ways you can build around one or the other of a concept, or blend that concept somewhere in the middle, and that makes it a great weapon. It doesn't mean it's like, I mean, I haven't run it in a while. I mean, it doesn't mean it's gonna be the best in slot on all my builds, you know? Like on a skill build, I'm a little leaving room for the unknown, but the capacitor usually is gonna win that slot. It's got just as much crit damage on it, crits altogether, right? It's got your 10% crit chance and 30% crit damage and 10% weapon handling and 11 rounds. A smaller mag, of course. This has got 20% crit damage, 20% handling, and 20% crit chance. 40% combined crits. The capacitor also has 40% combined crits. Now this has more ammo and more weapon handling, and that does mean a lot. But no damage talent. This has got a damage talent and higher damage to armor. These weapons, you know, they're competitive against each other, I think. You know, this coming at it from a different angle. Higher base weapon damage, smaller mag, lower RPM, a higher damage to armor, you know. So, but yeah, I like this weapon. It's cool. It's also good looking too. But all right, folks. Well, I'll leave it there. Catch you all tomorrow for a Friday night stream. I'm probably gonna finish out that whatchamacallit, not right foam, the oxidizer build we were working on. So I saved it. I got a screenshot of it, so we'll put that one back together, finish it out. I think it'll be better than the first one. That glass cannon was a little bit painful, just too conditional to a play style or team style. Even though I like the power that goes along with it, but I think the next version will be a little bit better. All right, folks, I will catch you tomorrow. Have a good night.